Everybody is Saint Marche, so today we're going to talk about Sonya Massey. We have been talking since last week or the week before about Sonya Massey when it first came on our radar prior to them releasing the Bodycam footage. And I urge you guys, if you do not see me active on YouTube, definitely go over to TikTok. The excuse I have for that is TikTok is easier to push a button, record, and post, whereas YouTube I have to edit, make a thumbnail, make sure I title it correct so it can be pushed out to the masses and people who don't normally see my channel. By the way, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment below. As you all know, Sonya Massey made a call to the police department in Springfield, Illinois. She seemed to believe that there was a prowler on her premises. Police come out to check it out. Grayson, I believe, was the first one on the scene. Now, there are some other moving pieces to this that I will talk about in this video, y'all, so y'all gonna have to stay with me. First initial report didn't have much information to go off on other than she made a police call saying that there was an intruder, right? We later find out that the police department in Springfield wanted to slow roll Sonya Massey's case in fear of outrage in the neighborhood. They sent out these notices saying that the neighborhood needs to be on standby because there may be some looting, protests, or break-ins in response to Sonya Massey's killing. Literally, that was all we had for about a week until we got more information about the officer whom was arrested later on. I'm going to give the facts and then I'm going to give the developments, okay? And specifically a theory that's going around on TikTok right now. Initially, the police department was stating that Sonya Massey had unalived herself. You can see clearly in the body cam footage that he raised his weapon, pointed it in Sonya Massey's direction, and proceeds to unalive her. Family immediately responded and stated that they felt like this was a cover-up. The police department later determined that Grayson was in the wrong and they arrested him for the murder of Sonya Massey. Grayson pled not guilty and he appealed the judge's decision to keep him behind bars awaiting the trial on August 26th. The judge responded by saying that Grayson was a danger to the community and must remain behind bars as he rightfully belong. The reason why Grayson want to be released pending the trial of Sonya Massey is because he said that he has colon cancer. So I beg the question to the Springfield Police Department, why was an officer with full-blown cancer even allowed on the force? Why was he able to work if he had cancer? That's number one. Number two, the most sinister thing about it, Grayson. So you were battling cancer and you had the gall, the strength to kill somebody else knowing that, you know, death is right around the corner for yourself. The thing that stood out the most to me in the body cam footage, you guys missed out on the conversations that's being had on TikTok. Here is what I had to say in response to Sonya Massey. And we will later talk about the theory, so stick around. I saw it in my comments that he had bonded out the day after, so let me go fact check. So you're right. So the police officer in Sonya Massey's case, his lawyer went to the judge and asked for him to be released and that he was not a flight risk because he was dealing with colon cancer. The judge denied it and said that Grayson, the cop that shot Sonya Massey, was a danger to the community and he couldn't be more right than that. He is scheduled to come back to court August the 26th. So his ass will be in there battling cancer and these charges until August the 26th. Since he pled not guilty, I'm sure there will be a trial. Here we the fuck go. Here we the fuck go. As I was doing some research on Sonya Massey, I saw that her family had spoke out and said that she did battle mental illness. So there is a possibility that she was going through a crisis, which makes it even more fucking pathetic. Make it that much more sad, pathetic, disturbing, disheartening for him to shoot her. And he himself assumed that she may have been going through a crisis. Another thing that I saw was, this is important to me because I want to know who was in on this cover-up of the Sonya Massey's case. Mind you, they only want to give us bits and pieces of information here and there because they're afraid of an outrage. One of the police officers, because they won't name who, whoever this dispatcher was, said just confirm self-inflicted. Self-inflicted was confirmed by the person on the other side of the phone because they won't give us the name of the person who made the call to 911. We need to identify everybody. The coroner, the dispatch, the police officers, the EMT work, whomever was attempting to cover up this case, their names need to be released. Stacked. It gets deeper than that, but I'm just trying to catch my YouTube people up on what's been going on TikTok. Initially, when the information came out about Sonya Miller, as I stated, there wasn't much to go off on. So I assumed that the police officer himself was the fucking intruder. Excuse my language. Because we just didn't know what was happening. It was just bits and pieces that did not make sense. So what do we know? I started piecing together the things that did not make sense. The obvious is that she was boiling water, correct? Obvious is the police officer was aggressive. What stood out to me was the fact that when the police officer continued to ask her for her identification inside of her home.
You're there with the deputy, correct?
No, hold on, okay?
You can hang on for what?
Just 1 second, okay? Okay. Okay.
What's up?
I got some paperwork. Can you grab that Bible, please?
Yeah. Hey, I just need your name so we can get out of here. Was there any damage previous to your car?
Previous, yeah. It was.
Okay, what was the damage?
A dent, I believe.
What did y'all notice in that body cam footage? She had a fucking wristband on. She had a wristband on, which insinuates she was just at the hospital. But what kind of hospital? Maybe a mental hospital? More than one corruption that's happening in the Sonya Massey case. I'm going to get to that. But listen to what this content creator said. I'm only going to let you listen to bits and pieces of it, but I'll show you where you can find him because it's a fairly long video and I don't want to tear it too long, but I will have to come back with the rest of my commentary on the Sonya Massey case because there's so many moving pieces, okay?
She had on a hospital bracelet. I looked up the closest place where she could have got medical care to her house. An 8-minute drive away, and guess where we ended up at? Capital Community Health Center. And guess who worked there? Isabel Butterfield. Now, the reason this got me thinking is because I remember when this cop first walked up to the door, he said,
You doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right.
why would he ask her that just out the clear blue? And another thing that's kind of getting me up here in the mind, and this is just me now, this is nowhere else in TikTok, but I just want y'all to listen and hear me out. I'm thinking from the perspective of calling the police. If I called the police, why wouldn't I be dressed already? Now, I know y'all don't know where I'm going with this. Could it be that something happened allegedly between Isabel Butterfield and Sonya Massey at that place, and she left and went home because she didn't even take the bracelet off?
Those who are following me on TikTok, did I or did I not say that it was something to her continuing to ask them to wait a minute for her to go find her paperwork? Somebody tried to dismiss it in the comments and say that it was nothing. They felt like she was mental, that she was delayed, she was going through it, she was confused. But it was something about that just stuck out to me. I hadn't noticed the bracelet until now. So you heard some names, right? Isabel Butterfield. Isabel Butterfield is the wife of Sean Grayson. Only way he would know that she was a patient of the hospital that his wife worked at. This is all alleged now. The only way that Sean Grayson would know if Sonya is staying at this hospital or having some type of mental issue is because of his wife. Allegedly, Isabel Butterfield worked for the hospital that Sonya Massey may have stayed. Following me? Okay, so not only should Sean Grayson be in jail, but so should Isabel Butterfield. She should be arrested and she should be let go from her job. Cars outside. Am I the only one wanting to know about the papers that Sonya Massey wanted to show the police? Because Sonya continuously mentioned some paperwork that she wanted the police officers to see. I did ask her if she had some type of mental illness, and she replied no. In my opinion, that content creator, Dame, I think that's his name, Dame. If you go to my TikTok, you will see me tag him in a video. But this is what the cover-up was supposed to be. Sonya Massey stayed at a mental hospital. Maybe she had thoughts of, suicide. And they were going to use that to say, well, she took herself out. And we found her like that. Sean Grayson's wife, Isabel Butterfield, allegedly worked for the mental hospital. She could pull the record. I'll believe that Sean Grayson was already on the premises prior to the police officers showing up. There's a 4-year-old boy named Terrell Miller. 4-year-old boy named Terrell Miller that was killed in McCabe County. I think that's how you say it. On March the 16th. According to reports, and Kiana Miller stated that she contacted the police because she had a domestic dispute that was ultimately going to cost her life. So the police had to kick the door in, where they found Kiana bleeding. Kiana was attempting to break up with Anthony George, a guy that she had been dating for, she said, a year. So as the police storms into her house, instead of them drawing the guns on the perpetrator, which would be George, they pointed the guns at Kiana. As the police officers began to draw the guns on Kiana Miller, they lost sight of George, who now has 4-year-old Terrell Miller in his arms. Instead of the police officers using their training to de-escalate the situation, they pulled their weapons, shot a single shot that ultimately took the life of Terrell Miller and Anthony George, all at the same time. Anna Miller was interviewed 3 years prior, and she spoke about the harassment she was receiving from McCabe County, even having to have done prison time because of an officer that was harassing her. It happened an hour or so. Now, y'all can correct me in the comments, but it was about an hour from Springfield, Illinois, where the killing of Sonya Massey happened.
The abuse from Officer May, and because we have many complaints about this.
Well,
Officer Mays used to call me at 3 o'clock in the morning from his cell phone to my cell phone, and I didn't even know how he got it. And he would be trying to intimidate me, and say that he's going to get me, If I don't work for him, he's going to make sure my life is not good. I will see him in different places. He'll give me an evil look, like he really wants to kill me. And I believe if I stay here any longer, that's exactly what...
Kiana Miller, the mother of Terrell Miller, reached out to me this morning to correct a video I posted on my backup channel, DT Marche, on TikTok. I wanted to let me know that the photo that was posted on my TikTok wasn't of Sean Grayson standing next to Mays, the officer who allegedly may have been responsible for the death of Terrell Miller. That it was of a guy named Nick Gott. You read in the message and watched on the YouTube video, Kiana Miller was subjected to a lot of harassment from this police department, specifically from those two officers pictured above. Important because Terrell Miller's case was a cover-up, as well as Sonya Massey's case. I like to spread misinformation. So I am so happy that she did reach out to clarify some things for me. She did confirm that she and Sonya Massey's family were fond of each other. They knew each other. That's how it all connects. Tell me what y'all think about this below. I've been talking for some time on TikTok, so I wanted to bring it to my YouTube people, particularly the ones that don't have a TikTok account. I knew from the moment that Sonya Massey's case rolled out that something was not right. Like most people, we will in fact get to the bottom of it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions below.